Apologies about the background. I know many of you would be disappointed with not seeing the usual setting and commenting on how I should iron my placemats, turn off my phone, and tell me how horrible the lights look in the background. You see, I've been producing corporate videos for my clients, and I have to look somewhat semi-professional. Take a look. When we are young, we learn things like manners, social cues, and social values, and incorporate them into our daily actions to the point that we don't even think about them. How useful would it be to have a collaboration and influencing framework, a tool to improve your social awareness to the point that advanced leadership skills become second nature to you? Well, today we're going to explore one such model, and it's called the SCARF model. Anywho, Rudy, let's get into this. Being an Austrian, you're going to love this story. A top German virologist has claimed drinking whiskey can protect against the disease and infections. Dr. Jürgen Riesland, the head doctor at the Institute for Virology at Saarland University Hospital in Germany, went against advice from the World Health Organization's advice, which explicitly states that drinking alcohol does not protect you against the disease and can be dangerous. Speaking on the show Health Issues, Dr. Riesland was asked whether regular drinking could have a preventative effect. The presenter was passing on questions from viewers, and one wanted to know if it was a good idea that drinking alcohol would kill any viruses that they may have swallowed. He said, yes, of course, that's true. And the higher the percentage of alcohol, the better it is. For example, if you're a whiskey lover, then that certainly isn't a bad idea. I'm with you, brother. But of course, you need to bear in mind that you can't do that every 15 minutes. That is something else to consider. Why not? What's wrong with 15 minutes? It's a bit harsh. The presenter interrupted and said, are we really advising our viewers to drink high-proof alcohol? Yeah. The medic, as any good German would do, stood by his position saying, I would say it can't do any harm, although we need to remember that it is not a guaranteed cure for the problem. Do you have any guarantees for any problems? Just saying. Later he explained that he wanted to make it clear that the virus was susceptible to alcohol because it had a fatty coating. Okay, let me ask you people, what do you think? I'm sorry? You want to hear what I do? Well, sunshine, a good walk in the fresh air, and if you can, a naked swim in the ocean while drinking whiskey has been the thing that I have been doing for years. But now my bathtub is full of salt and I'm drinking whiskey with a cowboy hat and boots. You're welcome. Meanwhile, in Australia, there have been many campaigns that are advising us not to touch our face, like full shield masks, bike helmets, and even oven mitts to stop us from touching our face. Dr. Daniel Reardon, an Australian astrophysicist and research fellow at Melbourne University, was building a necklace that sounds an alarm on facial contact. He was attempting to invent a device that stops people touching their faces during the coronavirus outbreak. The 27-year-old astrophysicist who studies pulses and gravitational waves was trying to liven up the boredom of self-isolation with four powerful neodymium with four powerful magnets. I think I like where this is going. Hi face, meet magnets. It turns out that Daniel has some electronic equipment but really no experience or expertise in building circuits or things. He said, I had a part that detects magnetic fields and I thought that if I built a circuit that could detect the magnetic field and we wore magnets on our wrist, then it could set off an alarm if you brought it too close to your face. A bit of boredom in isolation made me think of that. Hang on a minute, that actually makes sense. It's like putting two norths together of the magnets. You put one on your wrist and put one on your face, and as you come together in your face, it repels it. No? Okay. However, the academic realized the electronic part he had did the opposite and would only complete a circuit when there was no magnetic field present. What? You mean like wrist, face, smack? Idiot. He said, I accidentally invented a necklace that buzzes continuously unless you move your hand close to your face. After scrapping that idea, good idea, brother, I was a bit bored playing with the magnets. I know. He said it's the same logic as clipping pegs to your ears. Is that logic? Can I ask how many people have done that? How many of you people have clipped a peg to your ears? He said, I clipped them to my earlobes and then I clipped them to my nostrils, and things went downhill pretty quickly when I clipped the magnets to my other nostril. You what? You shoved magnets up your nostrils. At what point does somebody say, hey, I see that I've got a couple of magnets here, I might just shove them in one of my orifices. See what I did there? Reardon placed 2 magnets inside his nostrils and the other 2 outside. When he removed the magnets from the outside of his nose, the 2 inside stuck together. Unfortunately, the researcher then attempted to use his remaining magnets to remove them. He said, at this point, my partner, who works at a hospital, was laughing at me. He said, I was trying to pull them out, but there is a ridge at the bottom of my nose that you can't get past. After struggling for 20 minutes, I decided to Google the problem. Of course you did. And found an article about an 11-year-old boy who had the same problem. An 11-year-old, maybe I could understand. A 27-year-old academic, maybe I could understand. The solution in that was more magnets to put on the outside to offset the pull from the ones inside. As I was pulling downwards to try and remove the magnets, they clipped to each other and I lost my grip. And those 2 magnets ended up in my left nostril while the other one was in my right. At this point, I ran out of magnets. See, people, you can never have too many magnets, said no one ever. Before attending the hospital, Reardon attempted to use pliers to pull them out, but they became magnetized by the magnets inside his nose. How long did you have to shove the pliers in there for them to be magnetized? Oh, come on, you're making this up as you go along, and that's a whole new level of stupid. And my favourite trolls condemn me for having a dram? He said every time I brought the pliers close to my nose, my entire nose would shift towards the pliers and then the pliers would stick to the magnet. It was a little bit painful at this point. My partner took me to the hospital that she works in because she wanted all her colleagues to laugh at me. The doctors thought it was quite funny, making comments like, this is an injury due to self-isolation and boredom. While at the hospital, a team of 2 doctors applied an anaesthetic spray and then manually removed the magnets from Reardon's nose. When they got the 3 of them out of the left nostril, 3 magnets, how big are these magnets? Like, I was thinking this size. How big is your schnoz, brother? Carry on. While they got the 3 of them out of the left nostril, the last one fell down my throat. That could have been a bit of a problem if I swallowed or breathed it in. But I was thankfully able to lean forward and cough it out. Needless to say, I'm not going to play with the magnets anymore. There were medical records that showed from the emergency department that had said that Reardon did not have difficulty breathing and denied the presence of further magnets up his nose. Here's to intelligence. Hey people, I'm actually really enjoying reading all of your comments, and of course I can't respond to all of them, but just know that the great man is reading them too. I've set up his phone that when you make a comment, he gets notifications and then he calls me and asks me if I have read this one or this one. Of course I have. Now, I'm not just saying this, but the comments really do help him with his day. So from the heart of my bottom, I thank you. On another note, I have to admit I am loving the lockdown guidelines in Australia, but we just don't take it seriously enough. People are going about their day like nothing has changed. And I know what you're about to say, but G-Mann, just you wait. Look at Italy, look at the UK, look at what happens in France, look at what's happening now in the US and New York. Wait till it hits you. Aussies are just confused. We can get a haircut, but for no longer than 30 minutes. And then women complained, so our PM said, okay, your vanity is more important than the disease. Carry on. You can't have more than 2 people in one place, yet all press conferences have up to 15 journos hanging around. Seriously, people, stay at home. From those looking from afar, it will seem to you that we are just putting ourselves at risk. Our attitude here in Australia is very different. Of course, I am being responsible. I'm not an idiot. Sometimes. I realise we've only had 30 deaths, and if I listen to the experts, we haven't even started on the curve. I just look at the facts. People everywhere are suffering from job losses, depression, anxiety, stress, and physical pain.
It's a bit different, you know. I have been working there for 35 years, and first time I have to give up, so it's a bit sad, I would say.
For me personally, I've got to access my super. That's gone south substantially in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and now I just need some assistance where I possibly can.
I tried yesterday several times from early in the morning to late last night and couldn't get through.
Just lost 3 jobs, hospitality industry and jewellery. Partner's just lost his business.
How does it feel?
Yeah, like 12 years of perfect employment, it all blows up in 24 hours.
I wish they would put more staff on and possibly open before 8:30 under the circumstances.
If the objective is to stop the spread of the disease and to save lives, well, from the facts presented, it's not all working because we aren't doing enough. No one wants to dwell on negativity because we know misery loves company. So to you good people and not so good people, I'd like your opinion on this. I mean, it doesn't matter what you or I say, no one listens to the voice of reason anyway. But here is my question I would like to pose to you. Is it worth crippling the world's economy and have people suffer to stop the spread of the disease and save lives? Now I know it's pretty much a closed question, but answer yes or no, then elaborate. Next week I will read out some of the best responses. I guess not all of you have a platform where you can air your thoughts and your opinions. I know I have a very small one and it doesn't mean a lot, but I think we all deserve to be heard and not controlled. I'm Gerald Pauschmann for The Point TV. Cheers, Rudy. Whoa, that's good.